Welcome to another episode of the Canadian Maker Project, or should I say, Mad Project. Today, we are going to look at the Ender 3 and give it a new brain. So come along and let's get ready to operate. After all, safety first. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to open up this, and take out that screw. And then we can get into the actual brains. So let's get into this and grab I believe this is, if I remember correctly, R4s. And I think that one is a M3. Once we're in there, we can look at the brains. Also, when you're ready to open this up, remember that on the Ender 3, unlike the Ender 3 Pro, you have a cord here that goes to a fan port right here. Remember to disconnect this, or else you can be pretty upset at yourself and going a little crazy like I have. There we go. Now we get into the next part, where we're going to pull back all the wiring. Take a picture. This way, if you ever forget where the wires connect, you can't, because you'll have a picture and a diagram. And then we'll remove the board, and we'll get into the rest of this. It's going to be fun. But one thing I should remind everybody, if you haven't already, pull the power, because you don't want to get a nice little shock. Well, actually, that could be quite shocking if you think about it. Okay, so after you take a picture and everything, make sure you want to disconnect all these wires. So we're going to disconnect every wire here. Oh, come on over there. Oh, crap. Huh. Well, that's unexpected. I'll show you guys in a moment. Oh, weird. So keep in mind also, make sure you remove the glue. The glue can have adverse effects on your printer. What I mean by glue, I mean the hot glue guns. It's notorious that 3 companies will put glue on their connectors, so you can't disconnect them. Like, this board is just falling. Connectors are just falling off this board. This is nuts. Look. No glue on these ones. All these connectors are in there nice and tight too. Okay, that's the way it's going to come off. So already we're starting to see an issue here. I pulled out board here. Hopefully you guys can see that. But we're losing plastic pieces off the actual board itself. So this really is concerning me just a little bit. I'm going to be scared of what we see here. Give me a moment. Okay, let's see how these ones are. This is the power. This is the main power that goes to the board. And if I'm right, I think they might have soldered these. This is maddening. We might be lucky. We might be... Look, maybe they didn't tin the wires. We'll soon find out together. And they tinned them! Oh! Why did you tin them? That's just a horrible thing to do. Oh, we're gonna have to fix this. But first we gotta take out this motherboard. Or should I say, brains. And have a look at this. There are 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Well, oh, 3 of mine. Should be 4 in here though. Well, pull these out. We'll have a look at the motherboard. Oh, I see you, pesky screw. Okay, I'll show you guys how bad this board looks. Alrighty, see how I pulled out one plug there, go there, and this plastic shell is, I can now pull this right off the board. The pins are still there, but I don't know. Leave your comments down below. Do you think this is still usable if I put the covers back on there? Like to have your input. The way I would cover that probably would be crazy glue. Not crazy glue, hot glue. But like this your comments down below. Anyways, this board is going off to the side. The new board that we are going to be putting in, or should I say brain, is from Timothy Hooglin. TH3D This is the EZBoard Lite 1.2. We'll replace what was in there right now. These also have the traumatic drivers on them, the 2208s. You want to know more about this board? Link in the description down below. I'm going to install this and get this all set up, including getting rid of the tinned wires here. These should never be on boards, and I'll tell you why. Tin, solder gets hot enough, the solder could melt and could cause bridging or could cause leak into the board and cause an actual link in the board that could short out your board. These boards, the Creality boards, don't have any safety features on them. There's no fuse, there's no like inline fuse or anything like that to break it if something was to go wrong. On the TH3D board, there's an actual fuse right here. And if something goes wrong, that fuse will blow first, causing no shorting or anything to go wrong. But with those soldered tips, I'm going to cut those off and I'm going to replace it and put this back in, and put this in and wire it up. So we're going to do that off camera and get that all set up for you. Okay, so upon further inspection, I had to pull this off. This cover that I had made for this. But on the further inspection of the wires themselves, I found out that my hot bed, that the bed was also soldered. Now, they shouldn't be soldered, honestly, so just going to trim them off just a little bit, not too much, because I need to stop wire so I can toggle them in, so that should do it. But honestly, I shouldn't have to do this. These should never have been soldered to begin with. And they should be copper bare, as you can see there. So to take this off, there's one screw that holds it here and two screws here. So I just unscrewed them to make it easier to get at the bed, to get at the board, or should I say brains as we're calling it here. The EZBoard is such a great little thing because there's so much that you can do with this that just fits and matches the Creality board with no problem, so that's great. But I will go over a little bit more about this board. I'm going to assemble this. Once this is assembled, we are going to go back to the actual computer and we are going to look at this on the computer to set up all its functionality. But for now, I'm just going to sit here, get this done. This will be off camera, so I do apologize. If you wanted to watch it be put together, sorry. But I need to get this put together and get this set up. So, you know, just wait a few minutes and you guys will see me go to the computer. We'll access the files and we'll get this all set up and get this running. But right now, this has to get wired up. So I'm going to take the time to wire this up. I'm going to be off camera. Okay, so now we're into the configuration. Now we configure the program before we even turn on the EZBoard. So I'm in the EZBoard config here. This is the Easy firmware beta. So we're going to use the Easy config just to make it simple and easy to get it all set up. So you go Easy config. You select your printer. This one's going to be the Ender 3. We have stock frame, nothing custom. So we're going to give a custom name. We'll just call it the test rig. Next step. Bed leveling type, we don't have any bed leveling on that right now. Filament sensor, we don't have a filament sensor on there, even though I have one. I have like 2 of them here. I just don't use them that often. I don't use them, so nothing I have to worry about. Thermal. Okay. Stock hand thermistor, yes. Okay. High temperature thermostat, we don't have one in there. Stock bed thermistor, that's what we have in there, and we don't have an AC bed. So we're going to go next to mortars. If you have a direct drive machine with filament sensor enabled, this option decreases the envelope length from 100 to 20. I don't need it because we're not using the thing, so direct drive would not have an option for this. Custom E-steps would allow me to set up the E-steps if I wanted to set those up. Stealth chop.
because it's disabled, we'll leave it disabled for now. Pancake steppers, we don't have any. Reverse E motor direction, didn't have to do that because the cables were all turned around automatically, so we'll go next step. And remember, you can always go back and edit this for your own configuration, and then you can just upload it, and then you can just download it again and use it again. So here, fan fix, well, we don't have that type of fan. Slower homing, we don't have the homing, so we don't need a slower homing. Home adjust, we really don't need this option. As requested, but it's not supported by the TH3D Studio, so. Linear advance, I'm not going to enable that. Enable custom Z height, don't need that. LCD language is an EN, which is English, if I remember correctly. Yeah, just English. So hit next. Review. Tags. Assign to configuration so you can find it later in search function. Well, this we're just keeping everything stock. I'm not a robot. Submit. Please fill out this field. So we got to give it a tag name. Test rig. Submit. So right now it's just making it right now. So we'll just wait a few more minutes. It says here, anytime flashing new firmware, you must reset your EEPROM. If you do not, settings will not work correctly. So just something to keep in mind. So we can download the firmware bin and the configuration H file, which really we don't need the config H. We have already downloaded that. So we're just going to download the firmware bin file. Now, according to the TH3D guidelines, we are supposed to take that file, the firmware.bin file, put that into our SD card's root directory, and then put the SD card into the printer. And then we will fire on the printer and see if it works. And we'll button her all up afterwards once we can compare that the firmware has been installed. So we'll catch you on the other side. I'll put my mask back on, and we'll see if the operation was a success or a complete failure. And I'm leaning on the hope of complete success. Okay, so we have the card, we have the power, so let's plug this baby in and get it going. Card's inserted, power's ready. 3, 2, 1. See if it's alive. TH3D Marlin 2.1. It's alive! It's alive! Now let's put this all together and print and see how glorious it all is.
Are you scared? You know, I am you. Are you scared? I am you.
So I'd say the operation was successful. I mean, after all, I can do this now. Which is get this printing. And not hear it at all. That's a great improvement. So the board from TH3D is definitely thumbs up. I'm not going insane anymore hearing this thing. Sure, I gotta do something about these fans, but as you can see, it is printing. I'm standing right beside it and it's not making any weird noises like that. That's going to start in a few seconds because I'm printing a round object. There's no singing from my printer. Such a nice sound. Well, a little bit, but nothing that will drive me a little crazy like it was beforehand. The board itself, links are in the description. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. I've had a lot of fun doing this. And like I said, guys, advice, what should I do with this board? It's a shame that it went apart like that, but it's because I want to experiment with this board in the CR10. Ooh, I got an idea. We can take this brain out and put it in the CR10. But you're gonna have to wait for the next one. Until next time, everybody, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell if it scared you enough. Because, well, we got some more hunting stuff coming along. Don't forget to hit that like button. It helps us grow the channel. Grow in an evil way. And as always, keep on printing. If you dare.